Hey guys, Dragonflaze here, bringing you to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile, Abyss Actors deck profile of 2018. Here we go. First off, I play two Abyss Actor Evil Heals in the deck, just for that. Have a level 1 monster in the deck just to play. Also for his Pendulum effect, if my opponent controls a monster, I can special summon Abyss Actor Extras from the Pendulum scale, but I can only activate the effect once per turn. And also, Abyss Actor Extras, they are really good to have in the deck, but I like to keep them at 2. You could go to 3 if you want to, but they're not really good to have in your hand so often. They can constantly be a break hand if you see them too often, so that's why I only limit it down to 2. But so far they have been actually working pretty well. But yeah, so pretty much they're really good to have in the deck for extra support, pretty much. Moving on to 3s, I play 3 Abyss Actor Funky Comedian, because he's a scale 8 monster, plus also another level 1. His Pendulum effect, I can tribute 1 Abyss Actor monster, and then target another Abyss Actor. That monster that I attributed gains its attack
message
points.
From the dark side there is.
Gains the equal attack points of the monster I attributed to boost it up stronger for more damage to your opponent. Also, he's just a really fun card to play in the deck. But yeah, I played 3 of them because he's a good set of 3. And though I did actually play 2 of them at one time, but I decided to bump him back up to 3 because he's a really good card to play. Moving on to the next part of the deck, I play 1 Abyss Actor Trinity Understudy, level 2, just for his Pendulum effect. I can Pendulum summon out a monster. When I Pendulum summon out a monster, I can add 1 face-up level 8 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from my extra deck to my hand, so he's a good way to get your evil heals back to your hand if they ever go to your extra deck. I play 2 Abyss Actor Leading Ladies. Because of her scale effect, it's if I take damage, I can target one of my opponent's monsters, they lose that exact same amount of life points I lost, or I can search through my deck for the attack points, the life points I lost. I can search for a monster in my deck of the same amount of attack points that I lost. So she's a good search and losing life points card for your opponent's monsters. Moving on to 3 more 3s, I play 3 Abyss Actor Sesiwuki. Just because of his protection effect, he can't be destroyed by card effects or by battle once per turn. Also, his Pendulum effect, if my Abyss Actor monster would go to get destroyed, I can destroy this monster instead if he's in the Pendulum scale. So he's a good protector for the deck. Moving on to Abyss Actor Wild Hope. His Pendulum effect is I can raise the scale of another Abyss Actor in my Pendulum scale from whatever scale it is to scale 9, so I can summon out my evil heals with ease, which is pretty much a fun card to play. Also, his monster effect is if he gets destroyed by battle or card effect, I can search my deck and add another Abyss Actor monster from my hand except for Abyss Actor Wild Hope. So he's another good search card to play. Of course, the main second boss monster you play in the deck, I play 3 Abyss Actor Superstars. Because of her monster effect, I can set an Abyss script from my deck to the field, but it gets sent to the graveyard at the end phase. So it's best if you play them immediately, the spell cards that you set. Moving on to the boss monster, I play 3 Abyss Actor Evil Heals. because of his monster effect. If this monster destroys an opponent's monster, you can set an Abyss script from your graveyard to the field if he destroys an opponent's monster this turn. He's a good boss monster, as you can tell, with 3,000 attack and 2,000 defense, which is a good boss monster to play in the deck. Also, right now is the only strongest monster you will have in the deck to play with into the new Abyss Actor support, which hopefully will be coming out in 2019. Moving on to spell cards, I play one Pendulum Impenetrable just to protect my Pendulum Scale on my opponent's turns, because my Pendulum cards on my Pendulum Scale cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. Also, negate any effect activated by opponents that target cards in your Pendulum Zone. Play one Ignite Reload so I can always reload my Pendulum monsters into my deck if I don't need them at the time. Good quick play spell if you need a new hand. Also moving on, I play Enemy Controller. Just one of them, because you don't really want to see Enemy Controller that often. Pretty much you know what Enemy Controller does. You can switch one of your opponent's monsters they control, change it to defense position, or you contribute one monster you control, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Take control of that target until the end of the turn. Moving on, I play one Abyss Actor Wild Dragon. It protects my target Abyss Actors monsters for a turn. The first turn, any Abyss Actor monsters would be destroyed by battle. Each turn is not destroyed. Once per turn, you can target one Abyss Actor monster you control. Your opponent cannot target it with card effects until the end of the turn. Of their turn, even if this card leaves the field. If this set card in its owner's control is destroyed by opponent's card effect, you have a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can return all cards your opponent controls to their hand. I play two Mystic Space Typhoons so I can destroy my opponent's back rows. I plan on bumping it up to 3, but for right now, 2 seems a good hand to play, which is really fun to play these guys when in a Abyss Actor deck, because you need to protect your monsters as much as you can, especially if you play up against a Fireburn deck. But I'll get to that later. I play 2 Abyss Actor Opening Ceremonies. So if I have like 5 Abyss Actors on the field, I can gain 2,000 life points if all my Abyss Actor monsters have different names. So it's another way to gain life points, and also if it's destroyed by opponent's card effect and I have a face-up Abyss Actor monster in the extra deck, I can draw until I have 5 cards in my hand. So technically another way to get a fresh new hand. Then I also play 2 Fire Dragon Layers. So if I destroy opponent's monster, I can banish 3 my opponent has to banish 3 extra deck monsters of their choosing from their extra deck. And also, if this card is destroyed by opponent's card effect and I have a face-up Abyss Actor in the extra deck, I can banish one of my opponent's extra deck monsters of my choosing. Just one of the fancy, most awesome banish cards in the Abyss Actor deck. I play 2 Abyss Actor Rise of the Abyss King just to destroy my opponent's fields when I need them, to have no monsters on their field at all, and then attack them mostly for game if I have my evil heals on the field. Just a good card to play to wipe your opponent's field. Also, if this card is destroyed by opponent's card effect and you have a face-up Abyss Actor in the extra deck, you can either get 2 Abyss Actors or you can get 2 Abyss Scripts to your hand from your deck. Finishing up the spells, I play 2 Abyss Actor Fantasy Magics so the way that my opponent's monsters aren't destroyed, but they still take damage and also they get sent back to my opponent's hand. So another way just to clear your opponent's field. I only run 2 of them because you don't really want to see Fantasy Magic as that often. I play one cloning, so I can always have a token of my opponent's monster when I need defense. And also just to protect myself once per turn. Play one Pendulum Reborn, so I can reborn my Pendulum monsters from my extra deck. Or from my deck at will. Well, or from my graveyard, so it's a extra deck or graveyard, technically Monster Reborn. For Pendulum monsters. Of course, everybody knows you always should run the Mirror Force in the deck. I run one Mirror Force out of total, just so I can just destroy all my opponent's attack position monsters that my opponent controls. You know the deal. Also, to end the deck, I play 3 Abyss Actor backstage, so I can get 2 Abyss Actor monsters with different names from my deck to my extra deck to play when I need them. And that wraps up the actual deck right there. Sorry for the movement around of the camera. I am using my phone at the moment, so please hang in there until I get a camera. So moving on to the extra deck, I play 1 number 78 number of Chiefs. If my opponent, you can detach 1 Xyz monster, 1 Xyz material from this card, and your opponent chooses a random Xyz monster from their deck, and if they choose a number monster between 1 and 99, I can take Xyz summon that monster by using this monster as an overlay unit, and take control over my opponent's monster. I play number 56, Golden Rat. Because once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card and draw 1 card, then shuffle 1 card from your hand into your extra deck, into the deck. So pretty much it's another draw card, just for me to get more draws in my game. Plus you get 3 overlay units, so it's 3 turns you can activate it once per turn, each turn for 3 turns. So it's a good way to draw a card and shuffle a card back into your deck when you don't need it. Play number 38. Galaxy Queen, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card until your opponent's next turn phase. The monster you currently control cannot be destroyed by battle, and if they attack a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. Show another way just to do piercing, more damage. I played number 32 Shark Drake. Just to detach 1 Xyz material from this card, special summon the destroyed monster destroyed. Once per turn, I can attack it again. And then on my next turn, just do the same thing over and over again until I wipe my opponent completely out of monsters. I play 1 Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, just so I can take half my opponent's attack points and gain them, and then use his own attack points against him. Dark Rebellion is awesome. I play number C39 Utopia Ray, just because he's, well, one of the Utopia cards, and also most of my time I have really a lot of life points that's been beaten down for me, so I can activate his effect, and pretty much just destroy my opponent with Utopia Ray. I played number 39 Utopia, just for his protection, and also so I can Utopia Chain into Utopia Ray. So, good Utopia Chain right there. I play 1 more number, actually 2 more numbers. I play number 59 Crooked Cook, just so I can pretty much have a monster on the field, destroy my other monsters on the field. He gains 300 attack points for each monster that's been sent to the graveyard this turn, and also until the end of the turn. Last but not least of the extra deck, number 107 Galaxy Eyes Typhon Dragon. Pretty much just another 3000 beater, and just really fun to knock my opponent out with him. But after that, he's just pretty much a fun card to have in the deck. And that is it. That is the Abyss Actor Evil Heal, well, Abyss Actor deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy. Please leave a comment and tell me what other deck you want me to profile. Thank you. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and press that like button, and also the bell icon, so you can get notified of my uploads. Thank you. Dragonflies121 out.